What are your feelings on your ride height? I think we can accomplish that.
All right, come on.
Why don't you just tell them what we're doing?
Because I don't know how to act. We are lowering a 1978 F150 two-wheel drive.
That's right, brother.
With Drogo.
Excuse me, sir. NANI? Off the bed. All right, let's get the bed off. As you can see, we went ahead and filmed this out of order. The tailgate's already off, and the next clip's going to be us taking the tailgate off, so don't tell the audience. But the first step of getting this thing closer to the ground is, of course, removing the bed, and that does require an angle grinder and a pry bar because those carriage bolts aren't exactly carriage bolts anymore. There you go. You sure you don't want to put this antique on some shop towels or something? That tailgate's clapped.
Yeah. Oh, how about we have some communication here?
That's a good point.
We need to on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
It is attached somewhere in the front still, I think.
I think there's a stud on this side that I cut out and didn't completely go down. It's right here. I can see it.
Should put on my lifting gloves.
Honestly, yeah. 3, 2, 1. Oh! My finger's there.
I have lifting gloves we can put on really quick.
I just need one. I know, my finger was in between the bed and cab. 3, 2, 1. Colin, if you're watching this, f you. No idea why he'd be watching this.
A half-inch wrench?
Yeah. And a longer extension. Thanks, Dad. Even though I'm older than you. Just fucking send her. Oh, she's steamy hot.
The old stubby's an absolute animal. Look at that unit.
I didn't know if that was coming out.
Let me get the wood in there.
Ugh.
Lift that up again. Why are you doing? Why is it doing that thing? Let me have a light. Oh, yeah. Push her down, and I'll try and get it. There is a fuel line, but you can dodge the fuel line. Oh, yeah, bud. Okay, give her another one. Okay, all right. Did it leave the bed?
Yeah, it did.
Look at that. I think it's better. I think it's better. I don't know, really. I'm not 100% sure.
I just realized this thing has to go really high.
One crisis at a time. We'll get her loose, and then we'll worry about the next step.
Let's just see if we can lift the front.
Okay. Sorry I don't speak sissy pants. I only speak F150, brother. There you go. Oh, not good.
Go back down slow. What are we on?
Can you lift the back up while I do that and slide it back a little bit? There you go.
Let's get these grounds undone, because they are the grounds that are holding this thing basically in place. Never mind, they're not even grounds. It's just the taillight harness routes all the way through here.
How's it looking down there, Chief?
Let's try this again from the wheel wells and going straight back now that that filler neck is clear and all the wiring is clear.
2, 3, go.
All right. Okay.
With the bed in the submissive and breathable position that we wanted it to be, we went ahead and put some rather weak hooks into the joists, and yeah, it worked out good the first time, but you'll see later in the video what happened with that.
Please do not out me for having a tiny
Sorry. Andrew has a giant...
Why don't you describe the situation that we've got going on here?
We lifted the bed.
We did lift the bed. How do you feel about how we lifted the bed?
I feel like we lifted it.
All right, so now we have to drive this thing away.
You gotta move your S10 first.
Drogo, you can stay in the car. For me, sugar.
Huh?
I'm talking to the S10. I'm asking her to start for me.
Oh!
Fires right up. Yep. All right. Light work. Light work. Thank you very much. That thing sounds like shit.
Yeah. This thing will sound spicy eventually. It's got 6.6 liter.
Once we put a nice exhaust on it.
Yeah.
I'm not taking your truck without the bed on it.
Why not? All we gotta do is put taillights back on it. I'm joking, we're not.
I mean, it would be good content.
What's up, big guy?
Taillights.
What's good?
right, you're good. All right, go down. Okay. Go up a little higher. All right.
Set it up to there, ratchet strap man.
How much room you got over there? Oh yeah, that's not gonna work.
Wait, we can hook onto down here? Yeah, there's holes in the bed frame. Right here. There's these holes.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, Drogo. Probably shouldn't
That
be
hole
on
right there.
me. Hold on. Drogo! Come on!
What are you doing, buddy?
Who's being a big man?
That is doable. How quick can you do that?
I can do one decently quick as long as you promise not to drop it on me because I am under here. Up a little higher. All right.
Oh, it's much heavier that way. On there.
Hold on, Jesus. I always strap it down. Pull it with some slack. Hold it. Strap it.
Bop it, twist it, pull it.
Go. Come on, push it a little. Slowly, slowly. All right, stop. Pajama time.
All right, slow over the cracks. Just keep watching them.
Oh. Okay. All right, we made it.
There's another one.
Can I lift it, maybe?
No! So close to falling off.
So we just got the bed off this F150.
Yes.
F150. So now we got to move this thing back in and start planning where we're going to play chop chop.
Right there.
What do you think? What's the plan from here? Honestly, you're talking to me and the camera right now because I don't even know what the plan is. What do we got on the table?
DJM front drop beams and an axle flip kit, 4 Explorer springs, shocks, a C-notch kit, and then a 4-inch drop kit just in case it's not low enough in the rear.
So yeah, we're doing header back exhaust,
Header back dual exhaust.
below the bedside exit. We're doing a C-notch, we're doing a flip kit, possibly a drop kit. In the front, we're doing beams.
Drop I-beams and 1994 Explorer front coils with maybe a coil cutout.
This thing's getting dropped. We went right to work going ahead and pulling the stock shackles out of this thing and putting those drop shackles in their place. Now, this thing was already slammed and we hadn't even done the axle flip kit yet. So we had to do some thinking, some figuring, and decide where we were going to go from here. So we got this thing taken apart. We got the exhaust chopped off. We have the axle floating on jack stands right now. We have the drop shackles put in at the rear. We're going to go with the lowest option on the drop shackles. And then we are going to go ahead and chop off the front leaf spring perch and put the lowering flip kit.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, what if we just don't do the flip kit or the drop shackles and just do the flip and see where it sits?
Okay. All right. Well then.
I think that's the safe bet.
That's
And then we could put it on the ground and just see like.
All right. So we take these out then. Ow! Right on my toe.
Which way is this going? Witness marks. Is that a bolt or a nut? I think it was like that.
Like this?
Yeah, pretty sure. Oh, we'll find out.
With our first of many mistakes out of the way in the video, we went ahead and put the stock leaf spring shackles back into place.
You want to go down more? Oh,
Perfect. Fell into place.
all right. Do we have to trim those though?
Yeah, I just want to essentially lower it. Center line. Do a tape measure. Well, an eyeball lowering of about 7 inches. Yeah, the bottom of spring perch, spring to spring perch is 7.
So this is essentially a new spring perch.
Yeah. That's up right there. So that should technically be right. The springs at rest, actually a little bit lower. I hate decisions like this where it's a pain in the ass to look at. Like, that's already so much lower. Do I want to like stupid slam low or tasteful low?
I think you know my answer.
But another 4 inches of that, that's on both sides.
How do you feel?
Perplexed.
I was literally going to say that. So we got the axle flip kit in. We have the exhaust chopped off. And now we're faced with what we call a decision. With the axle flip kit in, it's probably dropped to roughly around 7 inches. And we're trying to figure out if we should slam this thing all the way home and deal with the consequences once we put the bed on, or if we should be reasonable, sensible adults
and, you know, just leave it at the flip kit and check how it is. I think I know my answer, but this is not my truck. We're gonna let Matt do some research and we'll move forward from there.
That's with axle flip. Axle flipped, stock shackles. Just axle flip. I remember from another guy's video, he said the higher part goes in the back, so it's not tilted like super level, but it's a slight outward. I'm gonna put down like that and just leave it.
Oh, you got new ones? Oh, nice.
Bolt towards the front.
With the stock shackles back in place, we can now go ahead and complete the axle flip kit and see if any additional lowering is even needed in the rear before we get going too crazy. And perfectly right around here is when I realized that our microphones had died. So what we were getting after here is checking the mounts on the shocks to see if the factory provided mounts were going to work at our new lowered height. Unfortunately they didn't, and we have to weld on the aftermarket ones. So these ones aren't going to work for us. What you got there?
The notch C.
C-notch.
No, not C.
Notch C.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Still Tig Welded nice. Dimes on the top. Well, maybe not dimes. I'm not that good, but I'll try.
There are holes. If this ever cracks, I'm dropping the truck off at your house and you can fix it.
You're going to have to help, but I will agree.
Nope. You TIG, you fix, or we MIG, I fix.
All right, fine. I'll put my nuts on the line. Guarantee it won't break.
I think, how much notch do we need?
It's about a rough amount of how much I did with the S10. I'd recommend stick it up over the frame a little bit.
The bed is like here. You don't have that much room between that and the bed. Most you could do that without trimming the bed.
I mean, you can go up a little farther and just cut this a little. The shape of the top of it. We're gonna put one back here too.
Yeah, buddy. We're gonna fucking box her in. You don't think it needs to be boxed in?
We're here. We're here.
Well, I'm just saying, it depends how much we're cutting. Because if we only cut to like a portion,
The right way to do it is to plate it on the backside.
I mean, it's only right if you need it.
That's a lot of frame getting cut out right there. If you're not gonna box it, that's a lot of frame to cut out.
My only worry with boxing is that side, trying to get everything squared and cut without damaging anything. It really depends how flexible that brake line is. All I'm saying is I don't think we need to go that crazy with the C-notch.
Okay, you call it.
Cutting it there puts it back to factory, the factory clearance of the bumps on these. So that would get it basically close to stock clearance.
That's cutting the bed.
We would trim the top.
Yeah, we could trim the top. It leaves a little bit less meat than desired, but it's nice to box it across like that.
I don't have the room with the bed.
It's stronger that way. Here we are on our way to the second mistake of the C-notch job. Now, the passenger side didn't exactly come out perfect, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but here I am going ahead and getting the clearancing cut out here on the frame for us to go ahead and add in our notch.
It's a beautiful new day.
It is a beautiful new day. We've officially gone past the point of no return. It doesn't look like a C.
We cut the frame.
We did cut the frame, and now there's literally no going back. Basically, we went ahead, we C-notched the frame on one side. Now we got to go ahead and install the C-notch and do some fabrication. What are you thinking? You're not going nowhere.
You're going nowhere.
Tack, 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 tack. Yeah. And this is where we made a little no-no. Keep it above the frame, folks. Keep it above the frame.
After we welded out the passenger side, we jumped on the frame a couple times and jacked it up from the back of the C-notch, and we did notice that there was a tiny bit of flex when comparing it to the uncut driver side. Now, the flex was minimal, but knowing that we touched it, we wanted it to go back together stronger than it was before. We got some 3/16 90-degree angle strap, and we put it across the top of the C-notch for now. It wasn't that pretty, and I'd definitely call it a Pot County special if my name was Puddin's Fab Shop, but it was stronger and the flex was gone. We lived and we learned, so check out the driver's side where we did it the way the car gods intended. Alrighty folks, it is Sunday morning. We have been cranking along all weekend on this. Friday and Saturday we've been in the garage till about 1:30, so we've had some late nights, 12-hour days. We've got both sides notched. The passenger side was our learning experience. The driver's side was not. We did end up with a little bit of a Pot County special on the passenger side. It is what it is. We have Matt cranking away in the front. He's fully removed both beams, and now we're going to go to our local place that the guy that owns this truck works at, and we are going to go ahead and swap the tires around, and we're going to press off the knuckle kingpins from the beams. I believe that's what they're called. So yeah, let's get after that. Along with pressing the kingpins, we also went ahead and got a set of street tires for this F150, so we weren't exactly starting an identity crisis and running the rock crawler tires on this lowered truck. So while he was doing that, I went ahead and did an ode back to my high school days where I used to bust tires for 8 hours a day, rain, snow, sleet, or shine. So this was a good little time for me to realize why I don't work in a shop anymore. Two naked beams and some freshly mounted tires. I'd say we got what we were looking for, right? Just say yeah, totally. What we never mentioned is that these pins were never supposed to have to be pressed in the first place. They were ordered as a last-ditch effort, and that last-ditch effort came through because we ordered an entire knuckle system and that did not show up. However, Matt got to work with the heat in the press and he made it happen. So we got right back on track. I don't know what it is about Steelies. I just want to clean them for some reason. Well, if you wanted to, you could go a lot lower.
Yeah, that's shocking. It's not the best.
So it's a new day, and we are working on some exhaust. I left you guys a little bit because we're a little pressed for time, but I'm going to catch you guys up. So I have the down pipes MIG'd into place here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this past the cross member. Then once that pipe is past the cross member, I'm going to go ahead and TIG weld everything out, just because it's kind of starting to not support the weight, and I don't want this thing moving too much. So enjoy the time lapse. So we got everything tigged out. Didn't come out great. I always expect my welds to come out like Instagram welds, and then I realized I really should be practicing more than I am. However, I don't think it's gonna leak. Matt knocked out the fuel lines. He painted the C-notch and all of the rib nuts that we put in to basically make the bed more serviceable. We went ahead and welded some washers with rib nuts in there. This way we can just zip the bed in and on and off if needed. Also, a lot of those nuts were rusted and had to be cut off, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I was going to bolt up the exhaust, but I just don't have it in me. But just one more thing, take a look at my pipes. Not great, not terrible. I mean, if I paid someone for this, I'd be like, what the hell? Probably. Everything's welded out. I need to get under this thing, bolt these back up, which, I'll be honest, is not the most fun process, but a necessary evil. Time to get under the car and build out at least to the cab, and I think we're going to keep the exhaust not visible by the bedside. We both kind of agreed that we like that clean look of just it being kind of low to the ground without an exhaust pipe sticking under the bedside. Not that I'm saying it looks kind of ratty, but it looks kind of ratty. So we're not going to be running it on this unit. Find you a lady who puts pizza rolls in a bar cup and brings them out to the garage for you. So this is the struggle of building an exhaust on your back in a garage. Not complaining, but I'm complaining. Basically, you got to get your marks all shored up. Then once you get your marks shored up, you have to forget that you don't have your welding mask or your ground clamp set up, which I just did. Pipes lined up, but now I don't know where my torch is at, so I got to grab my torch. But now that I grabbed my torch, my pipes aren't lined up anymore. I gotta admit, I'm not super stoked on how close this is to the cross member, but I think I can put a hanger there because, man, that is just coming out dead nuts, and that's pretty much what you want. I think we're gonna put a hanger on whatever pipe goes here. This way, these guys are solid because, well, it honestly, I can't even make that hit if I try. If I try really hard, I can. When you're driving down the road, there's gonna be nobody trying really hard. I think we're gonna run with that. Now what I need to do is run a long section from that bend. Come on, go where I planned this to go. Oh. I mean, guys, I'm not really sure what to say. When you're good, you're good. Shout out Puddin's Fab Shop. It's better to be lucky than good, but when you got both, you're in good shape. Oh, maybe this needs to come a little higher. And there's about ½ inch between the cross member and this exhaust pipe, so a little bit closer than I want it to be, but I think we're gonna run it. That's what I think we're gonna do, because to go any higher would bring it to the left or towards the driver's side, and that's just wouldn't make it symmetrical, and I'm not in the business of building things that aren't symmetrical or interested in that. So, but honestly, I might just call it a night. All right, so we got this in. It's a little bit close to the cross member. I can't get it to touch if I wiggle it. And we're gonna mount a hanger to whatever pipe this is. So this thing's gonna be fucking solid. It took me like 3 different times to get that bend, but now I got this pipe coming out straight. So now I just gotta get the other pipe coming out straight. But I'm calling it a night. I'm gonna actually get some sleep tonight, and then I'll crack back at it tomorrow. So the next day I went ahead and got to work selfishly without you guys. I am working on getting better at that. But here I am making some reinforcement to go in between the two pipes coming towards the back of the cab. They were just a little bit flimsy when they were together on their own. So I went ahead and made these plates, notched them out to weld in between there. So it would be nice to have a belt sander, but I don't. So I had to use the grinder. Came out kind of slick. You can see they're both coming out the same way. And I'm just going to go ahead and weld that out. And they both are removable as a pair. So that's pretty slick the way that came out. And just one reinforcement plate in between those pipes was still not enough for my liking. I wanted these things to be a nice solid pair that you could remove as an assembly if you were working on this thing. So I got to work and made a second plate to go in there. They came out all right. Again, it would be nice to have a belt sander, but really, at the end of the day, the belt sander wasn't the issue. It was my patience. It's always your patience. No matter what tools you have, guys, it's always the patience that gets you. So here it is, nice and sturdy, once I actually took the time to do it correctly. After I got everything tacked up, I pulled it out of the car, down pipes included, and got ready to take this thing up completely for the hopefully last time. You can see I did have to add some to the down pipes themselves to make this exhaust accessible and serviceable in the way that I wanted it to be. So I went ahead and started tigging these things out. Now, the TIG welds didn't come out exactly how I wanted them to be. This is my second TIG welded exhaust, but I did get some tips from a professional TIG welder who advised me to stop using 80 grit roll-lock discs to prep the pipe because I'm changing the wall thickness. So next time I'm going to try Scotch Brighting them, and I did order a name brand gas lens cup, so that will hopefully help as well. So here's the downpipe all tigged out. I don't want to be too hard on myself, being this is the second TIG welded exhaust I've made, but you can see there's some inconsistencies in the color between heat input, travel speed, the gas coverage, the size of the pipe. It was all a little bit inconsistent. However, it's not going to leak. Matt stopped by after I finished up the exhaust, at least to the back of the cab, and started bolting everything up. You can see the 2 band clamps there that are allowing this thing to be completely serviceable, as well as the hanger, which is kind of hanging down, that is also riv nutted in place and serviceable. We've got the driver and passenger side down pipes connecting to the mid pipe there, so everything's really easy to take apart when you blow this motor up.
Let's hope it doesn't leak.
Only one way to find out.
It's gonna take a couple tries to start.
Just let me set up this fan because it's gonna be stinky.
It immediately sounds better.
With the exhaust now at the back of the cab, we could check that off our list and go ahead and admire our work. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like a C-notch. So now it's time to go ahead and take that bad Larry of a bed and get it back to its original resting place. So after we got all the revs of this John Deere tractor out of our system, we went ahead and started figuring out how we wanted to put this bed back on. Here's a little bit of me and Matt arguing about how we wanted them on the hooks. And, well, you can kind of see that my point was right here because, well, the bed dropped. And luckily we didn't add any more dents to this Dentside. Everything was good, so we got the bed right back in place. Lowered on the side of the garage, ready to be picked up. Exactly 1 week.
Gang, gang. Gang. Gang.
That concluded all the work we were able to do in my garage, so Matt took it home, wrapped up the exhaust, and put some turbo mufflers on this thing. It really quieted down that straight-piped big block Ford. We ended up using mild steel on this exhaust, so there is a little bit of rusting going on, but we are balling on a budget with this one. Matt went ahead and got some pictures of it after he finished the exhaust, and it was looking pretty good. He then pulled a fast one and got some chrome jobbers and buffed this thing, so go ahead and check out the final result.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
Okay. On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple back, flip out the whole scene. Okay. All you suckers just the one that be me. So get slapped.
It really does ride good.
The ride's a lot better now with street tires instead of
Street tires and
KO2s.
probably a good thing that we angled those shock or put those shock brackets in the correct position.
That's 5.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Probably need a little rebuild.
It's fine. No clacking.
No clacketing. If you guys actually made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you guys watching this all the way to the end. It's cool to have any number of supporters, even if it's 10 or 20. I'm just some guy doing his hobby in his garage. I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this video. I have easily 40 hours of fabrication, 15 hours of editing just in this video alone. I know it doesn't really show. I'm new to all this stuff, but if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, as you can see, I am rocking a little bit of DruBuilt merch. I do have some t-shirts and stickers available. Put them on your daily, put them on your project, put them on the toolbox, put them somewhere where it gets wet. I'm 99% sure they're waterproof. The t-shirt just has a simple DruBuilt logo on the front and the DruBuilt logo and slogan of custom fabrication and financial destruction on the back. I also have a couple different designs that I'm pinning up, so I'll go ahead and put those here. If you guys are interested in supporting, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, share this video. The long form content is really hard to get some love in. But again, if you're interested, hit me up on YouTube. You can hit me up on Gmail. It's drubuilt@gmail.com, and I can hook you guys up with a t-shirt or a sticker. If you're supporting me this early, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate it. And yeah, to the 35 people who maybe even stuck all the way through, you're dope.